You know that I'm about tradition. But today we're combining tradition with, fast food. Hopefully it's good. I've got to say, there's something special coming just for you. I know you've waited a long time for this, and I want to give it to you. I'm gonna give it to you. You want to get notified? Link in the description. August 10th, next but faster. I'll see you there. Okay, so today we are making not just some fast food calzone, all right? There's more to it. Animal style fries, bacon cheeseburger, and a chicken nugget meal. There's this yearning question of somehow I feel like this could be good. So with all that being said, let's make this, shall we? Look, this is a big step off from what we normally do, but it's something that seemed like it needed to be explored. We have 3 calzones. The first one being a classic at any self-respecting, and let's be honest, also non-self-respecting burger establishments. A bacon cheeseburger, followed by animal style fry, and finally a chicken nugget inspired version. Each of these have some tradition which has been utterly defiled by the idea of a fast food concept. Or has it? Let's at least start off with a traditional base, a Neapolitan dough, which to make me feel better, we're gonna do this dough all in grams. Whisk together 3 grams of instant yeast into 512 grams of water that's around 95 Fahrenheit until dissolved. Separately, snag yourself 80 grams of double O-tipo flour and whisk in 16 grams of fine sea salt until combined. Mix your yeasty juices into the dry and stir until you get a shaggy dough. From there, just knead that for about 3 to 5 minutes until you get a relatively smooth and supple dough. Now, lightly coat the bottom of your bowl with super duper virgin olive oil, cover with plastic wrap, and pop in the fridge overnight. Overnight, Josh? Yes, overnight. If you're gonna take something traditional and try to make it fast food, you could at least let the dough get some goddamn flavor dip. Alright. Now, once the dough has had a nice rest, oh, little sleepyhead, now punch it down, brother, and divide it into 6 even pieces, about 250 grams each. Roll each piece into a rough ball, place in a floured pizza proofing box or baking sheet, cover with a lid or another inverted baking sheet, and let it proof at room temp for 3 to 4 hours. Wow, well, since that has some time to proof, instead of playing Fortnite until your retinas burn out of your skull, let's get to work. If you're going the burger route, let's begin with our patties, which in this context feels only correct in the form of my meatballs. In a large bowl, add 1 pounder or 450 grams of ground beef, half a cup or 36 grams of panko breadcrumbs, 1.5 teaspoons or 10 grams of fine sea salt, half a sweet onion, finely chopped, mix and knead until thoroughly combined, and you want it to be a bit tacky and bouncy. Bouncy, tacky meat. You know everyone's favorite pastime. Now, line a baking sheet with parchment, grease it up, then using a cookie scoop, scoop out as many pieces of your meat onto the baking sheet. Once that's done, roll each chunker into a perfect little ball all the way down your sheet. Organize them nicely. You should be able to fit all of them onto one tray. Now, pop that into an oven set to 400 degrees Fahrenheit, ideally on convection if you have it, for 16 to 18 minutes or until a beautifully brown crust is formed around fully cooked yet juicy meatballs. Now, moving on to the sauce. Let's make a quick point. This is not and never should be called a tomato sauce. And I'm not just saying that for the Italians, okay? It's gonna seem wrong until I make it right. And even then it might seem a little weird. Right, medium sauce pot. Add 2 tablespoons or 16 grams of olive oil, turn it to medium heat. Once hot, add in 5 cloves of rough chopped prosciutto, 4 cloves of thinly sliced garlic, and saute just until fragrant and lightly toasted. About 1 to 2 minutes. Then add a 6 ounce or 170 gram can of tomato paste. Saute till it starts to caramelize, about a minute. Then add 2 tablespoons or 24 grams of sugar. Yeah, I know, okay? I can hear the Italians from here. Now, salt to taste, a 1/3 cup or 80 milliliters of water to deglaze, then simmer and reduce until thickened, about 5 minutes, stirring occasionally unless you want to burn it at the bottom of the pot. Now just let that cool completely in a bowl. And once cool, add in 1 cup or 220 grams of mayonnaise. Stir till combined, and you sort of have something reminiscent of a burger sauce that was simultaneously meant for a Frankenstein experimental calzone. The rest of the burger elements are, of course, bacon and cheese, and you could add any other elements you want. So let's go ahead and make our other fillings next. All right, animal style fries. I actually use the exact same recipe from my In-N-Out animal style fries but better video, link in the description for that. See, you like that plug? It's pretty good. But to put it simply, it of course is russet potatoes cut through this thing, which I impulse bought, so matchsticks. Soaked in a light brine, drained, dried off, lightly fried, drained again, oil temperature increased, and fried again until crispy and lightly golden. Pulled out, hit with salt, and of course the massive, iconic, fan favorite In-N-Out spread. Which, by the way, let me just take a second to say thank you so much for all your love and respect that you guys give, not just to me, but these recipes. Not only are you making them, but they've become regulars in your home. It just means the world to me, really. I love you so much. Big kiss. Now, bowl, mayo, ketchup, Dijon, Worcestershire, sire sauce, chives, 1 diced pickle, 1 caramelized onion, garlic grated, salt and pepper to taste, whisk until combined, and cried tears of In-N-Out spread joy. Angels singing from afar, trumpets blasting in air. This is a sauce. Although, not usually for a calzone. Hopefully it's not awful. Okay, next and final, a chicken nugget combo meal. Look, let's just do this without holding back. Starting with everyone's least favorite, the slaw. Half a head of green cabbage, very thinly sliced. If you want to use a mandolin death trap, feel free to. Follow with 2 carrots grated, half a bunch of chives, chives, thinly sliced, 1 clove of garlic, grated, the zest and juice of 1 lemon. That's a quarter cup or 60 milliliters of buttermilk, I swear. Salt to taste, half a cup or 110 grams of mayonnaise, pepper to taste. Not sure why I segmented the salt and pep there, but anyway, toss together and slaw. Wow. Now for the sauce, I figured we could roll with essentially a cane sauce, which is 3/4 of a cup or 150 grams of mayo. God, just an unreasonable amount of mayo in this episode. 5 tablespoons or 90 grams of ketchup, 1.5 tablespoons or 18 grams of Worcestershire sauce. Woo, got it there. Salt to taste, 3 cloves of garlic grated, fresh pep to taste, whisk together, and that's quite literally it. The chicken recipe is pretty basic. 1.5 pounds or 680 grams of chicken thighs, boneless and skinless, cut into bite-sized pieces. In a small bowl, add 3 tablespoons or 32 grams of kosher salt, 1.5 teaspoons or 7 grams of MSG. 3/4 of a teaspoon or 2 grams of sugar, whisk together till combined, and season your chicken generously with your cure, and let it sit for about 7 minutes. Cover with plastic wrap at room temp to very lightly cure. For the dredge, 2 cups or 300 grams of all-purpose flour, 2 tablespoons or 21 grams of garlic powder, half a teaspoon or 2 grams of MSG, 2 teaspoons or 6 grams of paprika, 1 tablespoon or 11 grams of powdered sugar, a touch of salt to taste, mix together till combined. Then in a separate bowl, make your dredge with 2 eggs and 1 cup or 240 milliliters of whole milk. Whisk until combined, and dredging these works like this. Each piece of chicken will first get tossed in a light coating of your flour mixture, shake off the excess, coat in your egg mixture, then back into the flour to coat completely edge to edge. Once it looks nice, place on a baking sheet and repeat with all of your nuggets. And the rest is simple. In batches, fry your chicken in a pot of vegetable oil set to around 350 Fahrenheit, and do me a favor, as I've said, please don't fill your pot above halfway with oil. This isn't even about a Papa Kiss, all right? It's about your safety, pal. And if you don't care about your safety, then maybe don't make chicken nuggets. Remove your chicken nuggets from the oil, place in a wire rack, and hit them with salt to taste. Okay, we're ready. It's time to assemble. Pull a piece of proof dough, place it on a generously floured work surface, dust your big old plump ball with flour, then using a rolling pin, roll it out into a sort of a vague rectangle, about 10 inches long and 7 inches wide, and this is the base of each calzone. Now, first, our bacon cheeseburger. Working from the bottom third of your rectangle, leaving a slight border, and a nice schmear of your tomato-aioli, which is really nothing like an aioli, but it's fine. Sounds good. Follow with your meatballs, which each of them I've cut in half. Add as little or as many as you like. Just try not to overstuff this. Follow that with fresh sliced tomato, and yes, we're salting to taste. Optionally, fresh or pickled onion, a slice or 2 of cooked bacon, and a sliced cheese of choice. This is white cheddar. Fold your empty top over your filled bottom half. Crimp your calzone shut all the way, and please make sure it's fully sealed. There's nothing worse than your calzone tooting out all your god dang filling. All right, next, animal-style fries. Again, dough ball. Roll it out. This time, a thick schmear of your In-N-Out spread, your fresh, crisp homemade fries. And for a little extra, I added some cubed taleggio, but of course, to keep this as wrongful as this is, 2 slices of American cheese, another dollop of your In-N-Out spread, and lastly, more caramelized oignon. Fold and crimp, and then on to our final calzone. Yet again, dough, roll it out. This time add cane sauce, and really to make this a true chicken nugget meal, you gotta add french fries, which we happen to have left over from the animal fries. Followed by a nice row of your chicken, a layer of your coleslaw, and finally 3 to 4 slices of provolone cheese. Fold and crimp. Now optionally, you can square your calzones 3 times, and now we're ready to bake. Dust a pizza peel generously with flour, plop a calzone on it, and launch it into a pizza oven set to 500 to 600 degrees Fahrenheit for about 1 minute, rotating often until just cooked through and beautifully burnished like this. But for the record, you can totally do this in a regular oven with a baking steel or even an inverted baking sheet if you don't have one. Just make sure that you preheat your oven on max for at least 30 minutes before baking, and bake closer to like 7 or 10 minutes. And all that matters is they look beautiful, puffed, a little bit of char, and ready to be taste tested. Let's just hope that this wasn't a complete waste of time. First up, our burger. I mean, it kind of looks like a burger. Wow. Right away, that nice like toothsome, chewy pizza texture is throwing it off a little bit because my brain is kind of going, oh, is that a pizza? Wait a minute, is that a burger? I'm confused.
But I like it.
It doesn't taste exactly like a burger, but it does taste. All right, on to the animal style fries. Oh yeah. This is completely different than I expected. First off, imagine a pizza. Got that image in your head? And then a calzone. You're chewing, you're eating, and you're like, oh! Did I just eat an animal style fry? And then your brain is like switching again, back and forth between pizza, French fry, pizza, animal style, pizza, In-N-Out. God damn. All right, last one. Chick-fil-A cane sauce French fry combo. Holy sh**. Look at this, there's a piece of fried chicken in there. Cheese. And a stack of French fries. What do you think I'm gonna say about this? This is probably one of my most favorite calzone I've ever put in my mouth, and I know it feels wrong. The culinary part of my brain says no. But the human side, the unbiased side, the thing that only cares about the immediate thought of good or not good, this is good. This has a place on the table. Maybe not an Italian table, I know the Italians are freaking out. You wanna know what's not freaking out? B-roll.